Brilliance Audio presents Lord of Devil Isle by Connie Mason. Performed by Marion Hussey. Nicholas Scott wondered how much longer she'd last. Judging from the helpless little sounds she was making, his mistress would be fit to burst if he didn't let her come soon. Her muscles began to tighten, her back arched. Magdalen's release always made her whole body whip in shivering waves, like a beautiful fish writhing on the hook. He loved playing her, letting the line run out before he drew her back to his net. Nick took a taut nipple into his mouth and bit down hard enough to make her breath hitch. She lifted her hips, pressing her hot mound against his hand. She was well and truly caught this time. He smiled in satisfaction as his talented fingers drew her closer to her peak. Any man who could make his mistress dance on the edge of pleasure this long had a right to a certain smugness about his bed skills. She rolled toward him and hooked a leg over his hip, running a smooth heel along the curve of his buttocks and down the back of his thigh. His balls throbbed and drew into a tight bunch. The little minx had skills of her own. He ached to bury himself in her softness, but Nick considered it a point of honor not to take pleasure before he gave it. Love was never part of the bargain with Magdalen, but bliss was coin he traded freely. A man could afford to be generous with his cock. Only a fool trusted a woman with his heart. A flash of lightning illuminated his bedchamber, revealing Magdalen's sweetly rounded, sweat-slick body in stark flickers. Outside the multi-paned windows, the jalousie shutters rattled with the force of the storm rolling over the island. Rain lashed the lime-washed roof, sluiced down the gutters, and emptied into the cistern beneath Nick's fine, stout home. The wind moaned in tandem with Magdalen. On a wicked night like this, what else did he have to do but torment his mistress with unrelieved passion? She was already beyond pleading. She came with the next crack of thunder, convulsing under his hand and crying his name. "About time," he chided as he settled between her splayed legs. "As if you didn't enjoy making me beg." She squirmed down, teasing against the tip of him. "So much that I'll see you do it again before we're through, wench," he promised. Her throaty laugh carried a challenge he was more than ready to rise to, but before he could sheath himself in her slick wetness, someone pounded on his chamber door. "Captain! Captain Scott! Go away, Higgs!" Nick bellowed at his first mate. Peregrine Higgs was a fine sailor, and he never stuttered when a deck was surging beneath his feet. But dry land seemed to clamp his tongue to the roof of his mouth. But Captain," the banging resumed with urgency. "Keep it up and I'll have to gut you, lad. I'm thoroughly engaged at present," Nick growled. He plunged into Magdalen, determined to ignore his first mate. Magdalen's breath hissed over her teeth as she expanded to receive all of him. Higgs beat on the door as if it were a drum. With a curse, Nick pulled out of his mistress and stomped to the door, the musky scent of sex clinging to him. Heedless of his nakedness, he threw the door open. "Unless the second coming is upon us, you're a dead man, Higgs." Sorry, Lord Nick." Even though England had sent Bermuda a governor, the island folk still called Nicholas Scott the Lord of Devil Isle, looking to him for practical leadership. If they could see him now, naked, enraged, and fully roused, they'd surely shorten the title to just the Devil himself. Broad-shouldered, lean-hipped, and generously endowed, Nick was a sight to make any woman melt, and any man doubt his own masculinity. Nick's black scowl made Higgs stumble back a pace. The first mate studied his own boot tips with complete absorption. Nick glowered at him. "Well?" Higgs tugged at his forelock, but kept his gaze glued to the floor. Begging your pardon. Out with it, man." Ship on the reef,"